Imagine the balls to sit on a stage at a reunion and shame somebody for being with a married man when you're married to somebody who was married when you met them in the strip club. Welcome to Cocktails and Gossip, the podcast where we drink cocktails, but you better believe we're going to spill the tea. We chat reality TV, celebrity blinds, and the hottest tea from BravoandCocktails.com. I'm B.
And I'm Amanda. Let's get into this week's tea. Hey, I want to tell you about a brand that I love called Social CBD. It helps you de-stress naturally with plant-based ingredients that supplement your body's natural response to stress to support balance in mood, sleep, energy, and recovery. Their products are THC-free, made from U.S.-grown hemp, and they are third-party tested for quality. In addition, Social CBD recently lowered their prices by up to 50%. They believe wellness shouldn't be a luxury, and they're committed to providing consumers with access to CBD wellness in their everyday routines. I've been using the product for years. I'm a huge fan of the topical muscle relief balm stick. When I am sore just from a workout or even just from working all day and feeling it in my shoulders, it is a lifesaver. I just put it on directly where the pain is and it works. It's funny because it doesn't have that kind of typical tingle that you get with other topical products. So all of a sudden you just notice that the sore spot doesn't hurt anymore. Social CBD just launched a new body care line that I can't wait to try. They have high quality skincare ingredients that leave the skin feeling soothed and hydrated, all while delivering your daily dose of CBD. The new bath salts have 400 milligrams of CBD per bath to soothe the sore muscles, and I can't wait to try it. Cocktailers, use our code GOSSIP to get a buy one, get one free deal at socialcbd.com. That's socialcbd.com and use code GOSSIP to get a buy one, get one free deal on all of their items. You're going to love it.
Welcome to Cocktails and Gossip, the podcast where we drink cocktails, but you better believe we're going to spill the tea. We chat reality TV, celebrity blinds, and all of the hottest scoop from BravoandCocktails.com. And as always, it's all alleged and just for fun. We do not verify our blinds. I'm B.
And I'm Amanda. Let's get into this week's tea. I just wanted to tell everybody I am still in this hotel room in Mexico. If you hear a little bit of an echo, that is why. But guess what? I have a fresh margarita and I am really excited to get into this week's tea. So literally hot off the presses, literally just came in. We have some exclusive hot off the presses tea. Tell me what it is, B.
So a friend of mine just sent me some tea. I know vast majority of people were very unhappy with OC the last couple seasons. A lot of people called for Tamra and Vicky to be gone. And once they were gone, it flopped. So most especially Tamra, she needs to come back. She is the missing puzzle piece. I just received tea that said that they are holding back on casting her because of her podcast with Teddy. Like, how ridiculous. First of all, where is that energy for Heather Dubrow, right? She has a podcast. Second of all, Tamra is very smart, very savvy. She could very much reel it in and know what she can and can't touch on during filming. And after filming, all of the ladies are talking smack about each other. So what difference does it make? This is accurate tea. I know it's accurate. It's very annoying. And whoever's listening, producer from OC, stop the bullshit and bring our girl back.
For real. We love Tamra. She keeps it real. She is not afraid to call people out. And by the way, actually, when you brought up that point about Heather, who else? Paige has a podcast on Summer House.
Craig.
Austin. Stassi had a podcast. I mean, I think most of them have a
Giselle
podcast.
and Robin.
Oh, right. So is this a means of them just trying to control Tamra? I don't know, but I really hope.
I don't know. Maybe they don't like the content, but then it's like, okay, so that's what contracts are for.
Right.
Set boundaries.
Right. And I don't see why she can't talk about, maybe she can't talk about, for obvious reason, what's happening on her show, but why wouldn't she be able to talk about what's happening on other shows? Well, I hope they get it figured out because we need Tamra back on our TVs. She just absolutely makes me laugh. I feel like if we were all going out for drinks together, I would pee my pants because she is so funny.
Hopefully would not pull a Vicky and pee your pants. But I mean, we would definitely have a good time. We would really have a good time.
I don't know. Maybe I would. We'll see. It depends on how many drinks.
I'm just happy to hear that it's actually like happening. So I think they can find a way to make this work.
I hope so.
Everybody has a podcast.
It's seriously, literally everybody, including
everybody's
us.
Not number one, but everybody has a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
I'm my own biggest fan. Listen, nobody's going to love you like you love you. So.
Oh my God. Oh, I love you. Okay. So let's talk about Atlanta because Atlanta has been kind of heating up as well. I guess let's start with some of the sad parts. Tyrone and Sheree.
I mean, I was so upset, like watching her sit there. It was depressing. We watched her defend this guy and I trust her. She's a strong woman. She's a smart person. People make mistakes and she really believed in him and she felt that they would, make it work. It's one thing he couldn't come to New York City because of parole. Mm-hmm. We get that. Okay. That makes sense. So she goes to him in Philly. He doesn't show. And I remember back during filming, there was a lot of stuff on social media about that drama. Like he stopped talking to her. He blocked her number. We saw a little bit of that. You see production talk about attorneys. I am guessing that he wanted to be compensated. That's the only thing I can come up with because why are attorneys involved? Why is production coming out? He either could or he couldn't be on camera. So if she drove all the way there, it's because he could. So I think that he expected his own check. And this is just me looking at the picture and thinking it. If you can't film, you shouldn't date a reality star. Simple. Sheree was coming back. He knew she was coming back. We need her. We need her more than she needs Tyrone. Okay, Tyrone? So that's where I'm at. I was so happy to see how supportive Kenya was. And this is like we were talking last week about how Kenya has a hard shell, but she's a soft person. I think we saw that. I think we really saw that she really is somebody you can rely on. She was the first woman of that whole group that Sheree thought to call. And Sheree's friendly with many of them. She called her for a reason. She called her because she's somebody who sympathizes and who gets it. So he's a waste of time. Made me so sad to see her cry on the phone with Kenya. To have to call her daughter and like say it, like the whole thing. She deserves so much better than that. She will get better than that. I hope she's moved on. I mean, we haven't seen the whole season play out yet. I hope we see her move on to better things.
I mean, I hope
bigger
so too.
And better.
I totally agree. Because Sheree, I hope you are listening because you are gorgeous, you are funny, and you can read like nobody's business. Any man would be lucky to have you. So please take this in mind and take this to heart. As I'm watching, I was thinking, to be in a relationship with someone who's in prison, I just wonder if maybe she was a little more in love with the idea of the man of Tyrone versus the actual man, right? It's a lot easier to do while he's in prison and he is, externally focused on, his bridges to the outside. And, I know that sounds kind of harsh and who knows what the truth is, but I really think Sheree really deserves this great love, and it doesn't feel like Tyrone is maybe it.
Yeah, her great love is coming. It is not him.
It is not him.
Just based off of what we saw, it's a no for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. Okay, so all the ladies are talking about the most famous person who hit on them.
That was good. I love that. So Drew said that LeBron, like she said, the king, that's LeBron James, right?
Right.
She said they dated, which, some people on the internet did. And there's some truth to them being linked. But he's been with his wife since high school. Not a good look. I mean, Drew doesn't have many good looks on this show. I'm exhausted bad mouthing her.
Yeah, I hear you. And then Marlo
saying Gene Simmons, I can't. First of all, I bet Marlo, I touched on it last week. I want to be careful what I say. Like, Marlo's dated some really big fish in the sea, okay?
Right.
But Gene Simmons is so left field. Not at all surprising. Marlo is a boss. And Gene Simmons is a boss. I mean, come on, he's multi-something.
Is he a billionaire?
I'd have to look into it, but I feel like he is very well to do. But
I don't think he's
married for many years too. I mean, these girls must have had a couple cocktails before this conversation. Wait, but also Kenya saying Prince. What is Drew saying that's fiction? Okay, Drew, you could be with King James, but she can't be with Prince. Have you seen Kenya? Kenya may be the most beautiful woman to ever grace Bravo screen. Okay? She could be with anybody.
Agree. And if you are a Prince fan, which I grew up on Prince, my mom playing Prince for me. And now that I'm a grown up, I sometimes question that decision because so much of his music is so sexual. It's always on his mind if you're listening to Prince, and that's why we love him. So this doesn't shock me. I believe her. I would have loved to see it in real life.
I think the telling thing is she picked somebody who's no longer with us. Because I have to imagine Kenya has been approached by many, many, many famous people.
Totally agree. And then Candy.
And then Todd got mad. But Candy dated, and I forget which group he was in, but she dated one of these guys who was a singer. She's everyone knows who I've been with,
Right. But the sex toy line. Okay.
So the sex toy line, I know, and I think it was funny, but she always finds a way to work her toy line in there. I love that about her. We spoke about that last episode. I think it's great marketing.
I am going to go a slightly different direction from you because I'm a huge fan of Candy. I think she is a genius marketer. I think she is so good at knowing an audience and helping find the need. Like the sex toy line, the music and all the shows that she does, right? I felt like this was a bit off brand for her because she was promoting two things at once, right? She was promoting the play, which is a serious play. And she's also promoting, herself and Todd as being part of the production. And then this other thing by sending, making light of that by sending the girls in these vibrating, it just didn't.
Wait. Can we talk about how the remote can set other people's panties off?
Ew.
I swear to God. Oh my God. I was dying. I have to tell you something. I'm going to get them for all my girlfriends for their next trip, and they will totally put them on, and I'm just going to have all the remotes. And they'll be fucking B, we knew we shouldn't have put these things on. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
I have to say though, so okay, I see what you're saying. I'm not in marketing. You would know better than me. I do have to say, and Candy does find a way to promote her business at every turn, but Kenya seemed a little salty. Kenya is not that big of a prude. The way she was putting it down, it's it reeked of jealousy. It was a little green-eyed monster coming out, if we're being honest. You're pissed about sex toys. It's for fun. No one's making you participate.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, though, going a slightly different way from you on with my opinion on this. If you remember the previous show, she gets on the bus and then she's like, oh, I didn't realize this was a couple's trip, right? And I don't really believe that
No,
that's
but at
true.
Brooklyn's party, she said that, yeah, if you got a man, bring him. So
I think it's one thing to hear that and then to get on this bus and realize you're one of the few single people when everyone else is a couple and feel that.
And then
like,
to wear vibrating panties.
And it's like, I felt for her. And I honestly, I would have been like super annoyed if I were in her shoes. If it was a girls trip and like you did that, I would have thought it was hilarious. But with other couples and then just me, like that just singles you out in a weird, I don't know.
But she wasn't the only. Marlo's single too.
Yes.
Sheree's Tyrone never showed up.
Right. I know. But Marlo.
But yeah, I guess Marlo. Okay. I think the vibrating panties with some husbands there makes it weird.
It does, right?
But I Kenya seemed mad at the whole thing. Even when they came to her door, she was mad, and she didn't know that the husbands, or she acted like she didn't know the husbands were coming at that point. So listen, the vibrating panties thing is weird, but here it is. Sonia didn't participate; she just didn't speak on it.
Yeah,
like so. Yeah. You know, you could go about things differently. The way it came off with Kenya was like, and then you saw her talking, and I love how every time they go to a confessional, like Kenya's like, yeah, my hair care line. Sheree's like, when my joggers come out, like they're like plug in. I'm like, okay. Oh, speaking of which, I have something on Drew's business that they were all making fun of.
Oh, I did want to talk about that because it felt like I have not been the biggest fan of what's been happening with her in general this season, but I found myself like a little annoyed on her behalf because, well, first of all, I really don't think it's okay to kind of get plastic surgery and then overestimate the amount of weight you lost. And like, it's illegal. But I also thought there was maybe another dynamic, like everyone else gets to promote their business, but her, I don't know.
Well,
what do you think?
Again, you and I are not the biggest Drew fans.
Yeah.
But you kind of saw that she was the underdog because they wouldn't do that to each other. Like, whatever business is on a show, like, you're not supposed to badmouth it because you have an audience of people watching and the women presenting the business. We can't all be Candy, okay? We're not all that successful. So and Candy wasn't the one leading that charge, if you notice. Mm-hmm. She kind of like kept it to herself because, listen, everybody should be able to eat. And I don't want anyone's business to get bashed. I thought that was unfair to do because, the woman is trying to make money and at the end of the day, pay her bills, feed her family. So it's unnecessary. There are so many things we can do and say about Drew. I don't know why we had to bring her livelihood in it. It's like, let's support each other as far as that's concerned.
Right.
I didn't like that. I thought it was very uncool. Whether you don't have to be like, yeah, it's the best, but you don't have to say it's the worst, which is what Candy was just like, I'll drop it with Drew. Like, tell me what it is. And like, I liked her take on it, which was like, I'm all ears. The other women were like, you got plastic surgery and blah, blah, blah. Like, kind of went on about why her business wasn't legit. Not cool.
Right.
Not cool.
However, some of the ways that they shaded it
were absolutely accurate, obviously. But we don't need to. I mean, we're not outing her. They outed her. And here we are. And here I am with the blind that says, from Chicago girl, subject, drop it with, and it's the last name of the person who actually owns the company. I did some digging on the Drop It With Drew website, and it's not even her business. It's a Chicago fat loss camp run by a guy named, I won't say his name, based in Chicago. So basically, to make matters worse, which is why the women were like basically playing her on TV. It's like a low-level MLM, multi-level marketing. So it's like, it's a weight loss thing from Chicago. And it's not even as big as like, say, Beachbody or whatever kind of thing. And she is basically like, you know how women sell like hair products or face cream and they get a commission off everybody who signs up? essentially that's what she was doing. So it is not her business. She would get a commission if you signed up and I signed up under Drew Sidora. She would get a commission off of our sign up.
Right.
So now having that information, that's why the ladies were making it such a comedy act, because it isn't something even though, okay, she had weight loss, all that, it isn't even something she created.
Yeah.
It's a MLM, a multi-level marketing, that she's a consultant. It would be the same as me selling Avon or Mary Kay.
Right, right. And then you saying, but this is my business, which technically, yes, I am familiar with how these things work, and you have to get an LLC. And so technically you have your own business. You're essentially reselling the product and you make a commission. That is not the same as starting your own business from scratch, starting a program.
It's not the same as Kenya's hair care.
No.
It's not the same as if Sheree's clothing line ever drops. That is their product.
Yeah.
This is a product she is a salesperson for.
Hey, it's Amanda here, and I want to tell you about a product that I have been using since 2019. It's called Freedom Deodorant. It's a natural deodorant that actually works. The story behind it is kind of cool. The founder had 3 friends who were going through breast cancer at the same time. That part is obviously not cool. But the founder says that all of their doctors told them how important it is to use natural products on their bodies and to stay away from antiperspirant. So she tried a natural deodorant and it didn't go well. So she decided to create one that does. So back to me, I first found Freedom Deodorant for the first time in the spa at my gym. They were selling travel sizes, so I figured I would try it. Until then, I was always buying a new deodorant like every few weeks because they would work for a couple weeks and then they would stop working. So I tried Freedom and I was shocked at how well it worked, period. But then the fact that it was a natural deodorant really blew me away. And I've been using it really ever since. So my favorite scent is Bergamot Mint, but it comes also in lavender citrus, frankincense peach, and unscented. They also have other natural products like antibacterial wipes and shower spray too. Freedom products are aluminum free, cruelty free, chemical free, vegan, and they really, really do work. You can buy them at freedomdeodorant.com. We got all of our cocktailers a special discount just for Cocktail and Gossip listeners. So use code GOSSIP for 10% off. Go to freedomdeodorant.com and use code GOSSIP for 10% off your purchase. Find your freedom today.
Well, that gives it a whole different perspective that I was not familiar with when I was just watching.
Still uncool.
The show.
Like, she's clearly not on their level, which we go back to like Sheree shading her, being like, you only got the peach again because it was COVID and people quit.
Right.
I say all that to say, they could have done better with that. They didn't have to go in on her like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Sonia even went in on her, but I look at Sonia, she is an elite athlete. She clearly puts in the work to stay fit. So from her perspective, I'm sure she's like, okay, hold on. Like, we've got somebody who's cutting corners. We've got somebody who is, saying this is her business, but she didn't even, I guess, apparently create the business. And then she's not really owning it. So then you're like, oh, okay, you can kind of understand why Sonia went in on her.
Sonia was also annoyed because of some of like the gossip that Drew was saying, like about the other women. So I think that Sonia, in a general way, doesn't like how she operates. Even when they were in the gym together, when it was Ralph and Drew and Sonia and her husband, whose name is escaping me right now.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I said he was an NFL player. He won a Super Bowl. Like, they're like really big time athletes.
Right.
She just doesn't like, I think the business is a piece of it, certainly. But I think that she, in a general way, doesn't like the way Drew operates. And what I really hate is Drew got mad. Why are you saying this in front of all the ladies? Hello. This is a reality show, hon.
Right.
We need the drama. We need the other people to weigh in. It's literally Sonya's job to say it to your face. You guys are not real friends.
Right.
You met because you were making a show together. You wanted her to be an ally. Sonya got to know you. She decided she did not want to play on your team because you guys had different ways of doing things. And she told you in front of the group.
Yeah.
That's how reality TV goes. I will say this, and I like Sonya and I like her husband. You can see that girl drama is very new for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's an Olympian. Can't imagine she's ever been like cackling with a group of women, right? She's been training for the Olympics. She's been, doing this kind of stuff, and then she had her son. And so now that part of her life is done. And now she's a housewife and finding her footing. I'm sure they're starting businesses and we're going to hear about them. So the girl drama is new. And I think she's finding her footing.
But that could actually
go for the gut with Drew. I think it was very mild. Drew's lucky that she's finding her footing, her way of doing it. I think she's a quick learner. And by next episode, because I saw the previews, first of all, her mom is awesome. I see her mother's preview. I'm like, yes, she's so good.
I just have a feeling, like, first of all, I think Sonya finding her footing and maybe not being as into the girl drama could make for some really great TV. And like could make for a fresh kind of approach. And whether it was said between the two of them or just implied, because they are kind of the newer ones with the OGs, I'm sure Drew was like, wait, what is like I thought like we should stick together because we're new. And I'm sure there's some sort of dynamic about that too. And Sonya's like, yeah, no, I don't really like the way you operate, to steal your words.
Right.
And then I'm going to kind of move on and find my own path. I just get the feeling there is somewhat of this, we were going to stick together and now we're not kind of dynamic happening too.
Right. I'm sure their initial meeting was like, okay, last season was your first season. I'm new. It's us. We're together.
Right.
Sonya didn't stick with that script. To go back to, she's not into the girl. You have to be cutthroat to be an Olympic champion. I clearly have never been one. Got to imagine you have to really be somebody who's in it, who can go there.
Right.
So while I think that the girl drama is something that she's going to have to navigate and learn, I think she's going to learn quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her husband, they're a team. You see housewives with husbands, and I don't mean the husbands who are thirsty for the spotlight. That's not what I mean. I mean the husbands who like really back their wives.
Right.
Who get it and really support them. They're always successful because they see it from a different angle. So when they're laying in bed at night and they're having their glass of wine after dinner, they're like, all right, this one is this and this one is this. And Sonya is going home to that. Drew is going home to a guy who thinks he's a celebrity. I mean, the guy is married to a housewife and does nothing else, from which I can tell, except write a book, apparently. And he thinks he's a celebrity. He's out at the club, throwing dollars around. Whereas Sonya's husband is like, all right, this is our next platform. He wants to be Candy and Todd.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the next level. Drew does too, but she has a husband who thinks he's at the next level. And
yeah, I can't even with that guy. So on with another Atlanta topic. It sounds like it is to do with a former Peach. There was a blind about this person who is being sued for stealing another woman's husband. What's the story?
So this woman is shouting she's blacklisted. She may not be, also suing a television network. Part that shocked me, I don't ever remember hearing this piece that I was told. And we know how she slammed a co-star, co-cast, whatever it is, by saying, close your legs to married men. But allegedly, subject, stepdaughter. The former Peach's stepdaughter is loving seeing her stepmom get dragged. Word on the street is her new boyfriend was married, while her stepdaughter feels vindicated. Out of respect for her father, she always kept quiet, but not anymore. All that close your legs to married men stuff, she wants everyone to know, the stepdaughter wants everyone to know, her dad was very much married years ago when the former Peach and him got together. So it's a pattern. Shocked. Imagine the balls to sit on a stage at a reunion and shame somebody for being with a married man when you're married to somebody who was married when you met them in the strip club.
It is crazy if it never came out until now, but that does actually truly make sense that it was out of respect for this Peaches, for the man that was involved, that his daughter from the previous marriage didn't want to say that, talk about that while he was alive.
Right.
But, oh my God, that close your legs to married men statement, which I've always found hilarious. Wow, that really does hit different now if this is true.
Also, Kim on a post wrote, close your legs to married men, laughing face and a heart face, because her and, we could just say Nene, I mean, everybody knows, her and Nene, they were best of friends and they went back and forth. I think now that they're both off the show, they're at a place of they're okay.
Yeah.
I think they're mostly okay. I know in COVID they did lives together, which I really enjoyed actually, because I love the two of them together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was very surprised. I never heard this. There was no indication. But the stepdaughter, it would have been her mother. So, yeah. I mean, we don't know the details. Could it be that the marriage was separated or whatever?
Right.
And, we don't know the details, but the stepdaughter clearly is not a big fan of this former Peach.
Right. Well,
your stepmother they were married a long time.
Right.
So she was a stepmother to this. I'm sure the girl is now a woman, right? Because he's older, the guy's older. And for you to publicly, I got this message and then I saw the girl post it. She commented on something and I was like, oh shit, this is true. Because I thought it was bullshit. And then somebody sent me it and I was like, because I had the email and I didn't post it.
Right.
Because I have my loyalties, but listen, I'll spill if it's true.
Right.
And I was shit, this is true. This is true. And I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah. So moving on to Dubai, which we have only seen one episode so far. What are you thinking about it?
Only one episode. So I can't really set my opinions yet. We need time. All Housewives fans know it takes time.
Right.
Setting is amazing. It's different. It's like nothing we've seen. The opulence, the beautiful homes, amazing. The culture, I like that we're getting a totally different culture. Just the way it's filmed, to me, it seems more like Netflix than Bravo. I'm not mad at it at all. It just doesn't really seem like a, traditional Housewives. The clothes, oh my gosh. The women, gorgeous. One is more as I'm watching it, I'm like, wow. One's more gorgeous than the next.
Right.
The only woman I knew going into it was Caroline from Ladies of London. She is divorced, so she moved from London to Dubai with her husband. And she said after being there about 5 years, they got divorced last year. So now she's got this, you see her with this young, worked out guy. Mm-hmm. Very thirsty, seems to me. I don't know. He's Italian, right? Sergio?
Spanish, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. He might be Spanish.
Italian. I didn't really look into it. Could be either.
I've been following, I'll talk about that in a minute, but I've been following them on social media for a while. Well, we'll have to look it up.
Yeah. I mean, he's very handsome. He's 27. She says she's 45, but my followers told me she's older than that. I think closer to 50. The woman looks the same as she did because they did a flashback picture from 2003. She looks the same. I'm not age shaming at all. Not a thing I would do. I just think the age difference is larger than she said. The housekeeper, she delivers smoothies. The dog pees in their bed. They stay in it, which gross. And they couldn't be legally married in Dubai because she's divorced and she's Jewish. He's Catholic. The funny thing is you see that the two housewives, we'll get to, touching on them. Ayan and Lisa both say they think the marriage is for show. They both say that in the first episode.
Right. There's so much to unpack. I, too, noticed the show, the production value, the slides, the subs, everything kind of coming in just feels more sparkly and pretty. And it doesn't feel like the situations, the housewives definitely feel very housewives-esque, but some of the other production value stuff, I totally agree with you, feels more like, The Hills or Netflix, etc. The dog peeing in the bed, like, why did she sit there? Like, she just sat there the whole time with the dog pee. Like, why?
I don't go for that.
That was odd to me. But also, I'm confused because I knew that, I watched her on Ladies of London. I don't remember. I thought she was like old school British. I did not realize she's Jewish. That threw me off when she was like, we can't get married. Again, not that it matters, but I don't feel like that was ever something she shared on Ladies of London because she seemed very like waspy, very old, I don't know.
We should look and check what her husband was. Maybe she was trying to like acclimate to, maybe he was a wasp. And so she was like, oh.
Again, it doesn't matter, but it's like, why didn't you tell us all these things? And she just kind of swept it in the rug. She's like, oh yeah, we couldn't do this. So now we're doing this. And I remember like because I've been following her social for a couple of years. I've always just found her dry sense of humor really entertaining. And Sergio's actually been on there. I remember when like you started to see this guy. And then I remember when, they were going on these trips and then he proposed and they did this like Himalayan trip. And I remember all of this from following her social. So I don't know. I'm questioning whether it's hard to tell because he's been around. He seems very lovey-dovey and always kind of has. Who knows if it's because he's young or if it's because he's thirsty or if it's both. I guess time will just tell. But I mean, Caroline Stanbury, she is hot. So
she is hot.
She can bat, for way under her age just fine. So I hope that's just not the other ladies being shady because he's a, very handsome soccer player, younger man. But who knows? I guess we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I think it wasn't the age difference that got me. It was him like wanting to be in the camera frame the whole time.
Well, and I mean, what
like
guy
most
wants to go to his? What guy wants to go to his fiance's bachelorette party? That was questionable.
So weird.
It'd
be different if it was a co-ed. It was like all of her friends and him.
Right. There's no way my husband would have wanted it anywhere near my bachelorette party. Anyway, so on to some of these other housewives. Let's talk about Chanel Ayan. Gorgeous. I feel like she's kind of trying too hard, and I really hope she kind of calms down with this I'm better than everybody else stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, I get the sense that she's the queen bee of the group. She's sort of a villain. I kind of liked her. She's a model. She's from a small village in Kenya. She speaks 4 languages. She's over the top. She has all the makings of a great housewife.
Yeah.
I thought her relationship with her son was so cute, very close and playful. And clearly she's very adoring of him. We see her modeling on a camel in a gold gown and then like this 2-piece outfit, over the top. Just like honey, she is giving it. She wants us to see her and remember her. I think she's our villain. I think she's going to be our love to hate her. I'm excited to see more of her. She seems willing and ready to give it to us. Where was her husband, though? I don't even think they showed a second of him.
No, I don't think so either.
That's what we want to watch for.
Yeah, a good point. Lisa, what do we think about Lisa?
Her boys, oh my gosh,
They're
adorable.
so
Just
cute.
adorable. The, you know, $1,200 ice delivery was fantastic. Her husband's very successful in finance. They met him in Miami at Live. I wonder if Lisa Hotchstein was there at the time. Her and Brooke seem the most American to me. She has a maternity fashion line. Well, I guess hear more about that. Super cute. She's friends with everybody, but she said she's very clearly team Ion Chanel or Chanel Ion. Am I saying it wrong?
Chanel Ion, but she goes by Ion.
Guys, I have to share my hangover cure. It's not really a secret because all of my followers and friends know. Liquid IV. Leading up to a girls' night out, when I go on vacation, before a wedding, basically, anytime I'm going to be drinking, I make sure I have my Liquid IV with me. You can drink it before or the morning after. Hey, I've drank it before and after. I've shared this trick with my friends and all my followers, and let me tell you, it's a hit. Summer is upon us. It's hot. You're sweating, and many times you're drinking all day at a barbecue or the beach. Liquid IV replenishes electrolytes, so it hydrates you, and multiplies your energy to keep you partying and ready to enjoy the next day, hangover free. Go to liquidiv.com and use my code BravoandCocktails_15 and receive 25% and free shipping on all Liquid IV products. There's a link in my highlights on Instagram to make things super easy. Right. So then Caroline Brooke, she's from Massachusetts. So I feel like her and Lisa probably relate the most, but it doesn't seem like they're the closest, but they're the most American. So I feel like they have that.
I am really intrigued by Caroline, knowing that she has been so successful and so self-made in Dubai, which...
Yes, and she said that she wanted nothing from her divorce.
Right.
Because I guess it sounds like her ex was a son of a bitch, and she just wanted her son, and she's self-made. And it looks like she made herself very well.
Well, and Dubai has, at least historically, had a reputation for maybe not being the best environment for a woman entrepreneur or women in business in general, right? But, you know, that's part of this kind of new Dubai, and that, you know, that's awesome to see that somebody, you know, can go from having nothing to being very well self-made in Dubai. So maybe it's a new Dubai.
I'm very excited. And I think it's, you know, after one episode, it's so hard because we take in a lot of information and now we need to like watch all the episodes and see how it works through. We have Nina. She was born in Lebanon, but raised in Texas. She's been in Dubai for about 10 years. She lived in the highest tower in the world.
Yes.
Burj Khalifa.
The Burj Khalifa. That's like
saying that right.
All the sparkle on that building, like
yes.
It's very, very famous. This, you know, beautiful mirage of a building in Dubai, and I know it's extremely expensive to live there. So
it's funny when Nina showed up at Caroline's house and she handed her a cake.
Right.
Caroline had this, like, to your point, like that dry humor. She was like, "Oh, a fruit cake," and she had this like weird way, and I'm like, I don't know if my friend came over and handed me a cake. Then I realized that Nina owns the Fruitcake Bakery, which apparently is a very successful. So Caroline was probably laughing, like, here she is bringing me her cake on camera. Like,
and it begins.
Yeah, girl. Girl. We have to promote our businesses. She's got 3 kids. She was somewhat reserved the first episode. So, you know, we're on a wait and see. It doesn't mean she's going to stay reserved. Then we have Sarah. She was born and raised in the United Arab Emirates. So it gives us a unique look at the Dubai social scene, right? Because I think she's going to be our most authentic because she grew up there. She grew up there. I remember she was saying she remembers when it was just not dust, but like before it became fancy Dubai. It started being built, I think they said, in 1966.
That was another cool thing the production did. It showed how, like, showed that time lapse, which was so cool about how Dubai really came up
We
out of
watched
the
it
desert.
get built, and I was like, wow,
Right.
this is incredible. I mean, we all knew that Dubai is a new city. What does that even mean, right? So that was super cool. Sarah's love life is interesting. So she's very quiet about it, like in her life, because obviously these people are all known people.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see how much she talks about this season, because she has 2 ex-husbands, but the details of those relationships so far from what I've looked into, she's very much kept them out of the public eye. She divorced in 2014, but she then married a Pakistani businessman. She says, quote, she maintains privacy regarding her relationships. So we don't even know if they're still married. And I don't think they mentioned that. They didn't mention that on the episode. Whoever we think she's still with or maybe not with is a CEO of a very successful company. Fans spotted her with an actor in Turkey, like after filming. So it sparked rumors she was dating, but it was never confirmed. And she never confirmed she was split with Mustafa Khwaja, is the CEO, big dog from Dubai that she married after her first divorce. So Sarah was a sleeper the first episode. We better get a lot from her, because just based on her bio, there's a lot of stuff going on.
I think, I don't know, Sarah, I was getting total Lisa Vanderpump vibes from her. Kind of this, I think it'll be interesting to see if she ends up being more the leader of the group. Because, she's had this, I've got roots here. I'm from the UAE, and she's so glamorous. I also kind of get the feeling that she and Nina go way back, and there will be a lot more to kind of be revealed about both of them.
I agree. I think that the only one we know is Caroline, and come to find out, we didn't even know her religion. So
right.
I think we're going to find out a lot. I really hope we do. I hope this is not one of those overproduced things where we don't really see.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I will be on the Insta, and I will be on the social media, and I will find it out. And I will tell you people what I find out, because these ladies all seem very cool in their own right. And I want to know what the hell is the deal.
Right. Well, and Bravo fans are so smart. They will see it from a mile away if this is just let's just do this glitter and glam and not talk about our real lives. So
right. Just fight amongst each other and never find out if, like, Sarah's married or divorced. Right. No, we want to know if Sarah's married.
Yes.
Was she on a date in Turkey with Michelle Marone?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yes. We want to see Chanel.
We don't care if she fights with Ion.
Right.
We want to know what the real tea in her life is.
Right. I totally agree. So I know we have some tea on Dubai Housewives that we have been holding exclusively for today. So what do we have?
I do have some good stuff. I'm going to tease it out. I'll share one of the blinds.
Okay.
No names. But as we watch, we can figure it out. She is a complete fake and lives off of freebies and rich friends. Her husband has a heavy past in Newport as well. A lot of my friends live in Dubai and know her. It's a joke how fake these two are. The person claims they have no real money. Shunned from high society because they are tacky and cheap. People are tired of them filming every little thing. People from the upper class there like their privacy. The husband has a past in Newport, and word is out that he used to be an escort for both men and women. Whoa.
Wow. Interesting. And when we say Newport, is that like Rhode Island?
I was thinking Orange County, but I honestly don't know. I didn't ask. It was a DM. But I assume California.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But it could be Rhode Island.
How funny. Well,
maybe he's hanging out with Shayna Moakler and her crackhead boyfriend.
Oh my God. Okay, so we have to talk.
Amanda, how do I say it?
Winnetka, Illinois. It is a very, very, very nice suburb of Chicago.
It's where they filmed Home Alone.
Yes.
I kept getting these emails about Winnetka, and I thought it was like a troll spamming me. We would laugh about it.
Yep.
She was like, B, no, you have to pay attention to this Winnetka stuff because it's making sense. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. So this week I got a few emails, and listen, the reality is I didn't think Shakira and her fiance splitting was going to come true. I didn't think the Chrisley fraud was going to come out a week later and be true. So, people can say it's not true, but things come in and let's see. I can't say it's true because the thing is production companies often film and pitch shows.
Right.
So without a doubt, something was filmed there.
Yeah.
Will it be a housewife show? Maybe not. It may be something that's picked up by Bravo that isn't a housewife show. I'll give you an example. I don't think I've ever told you this. So Secrets and Wives, it was a 1-season show. It was filmed in Long Island. My girlfriend actually worked at the spa. And it was being pitched originally as Real Housewives of Long Island because Manhattan and Long Island are like two totally different places. In any event, they were filming for a couple of years. And I was like, when is this show ever coming out? And it was like, it was going to be its own thing. Then it was going to be Real Housewives of Long Island. And ultimately it was, what was it? Housewives
Secrets
and
and
Wives.
Wives. Yeah.
Secrets and Wives. Yeah. There it is. Thank you. So I say all this to say things are in the works. Nobody at Bravo is confirming something in the works. So we got 3.
Yeah.
The Chicago suburb, Nashville, and Scottsdale.
And we know, right? They literally, these production companies, they will film and then they send the footage. And I'm trying to remember which one it was, if it was about Salt Lake City that I heard this, but they were filming something.
It was
like, congratulations. This is a housewife show now.
That's exactly right. It was Salt Lake City.
Right.
So cocktailers know that we have received messages for months, maybe even years about Nashville shows.
Yeah.
Months ago, back in like early spring, I posted the names floating around for the Nashville Housewives were Brittany Aldean, Jana Kramer, Jenna Perdue, Cassie Wicks, Alex Allen, Sabrina. These women were all on social, leading fans to believe they were in production for a show.
Mm-hmm.
The speculation began after thirsty Jana Kramer teased she was filming something. Comment section went wild. She has also in the past claimed she was filming Real Housewives of Nashville for Bravo. Meanwhile, the other women whose names I just mentioned posted like Instagram stories, let the adventure begin, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I would love a Nashville Housewives, but it has to show their real lives.
Right.
We're not going to get that from these overproduced women. The real money in Nashville, I'm not confident they would film. If I'm being honest, I'm just being honest. Scottsdale might be the real deal. I have some information that makes me comfortable saying that. I can tell you there has been filming in all 3 places.
Mm-hmm.
If it's production companies hoping to get picked up, possible. Well, certainly somebody is pushing this Chicago suburb because I have a lot of information. Like I know that filming happened.
Yeah.
Do I know that Bravo picked it up? Andy doesn't call me. And Andy, today he denied it. I remember when he denied Bethany was coming back a couple of years ago too. So you know what? Listen, people, until contracts are signed, there are going to be denials. It doesn't mean it's not happening.
No. And yeah, they're shooting something that might never come to light, right? Or it could be under a different, a production companies are not attached to networks. So a production company could be shooting something and it could end up being on E. It could end up being on USA because I think they're going to have some space there on that channel now.
They're going to have some space with Chrisley being a fraud, which also, again, listen, you have to go on your instincts.
Yeah.
With all of this stuff.
Right.
And,
But there's also,
let's see what happens. It seems
Peacock,
like a lot,
right?
but guys, there's 2 networks now.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out. It seems overwhelming. Obviously, there's not 3 new Housewives shows coming to Bravo.
Right.
Doesn't mean that there's not going to be a show on Bravo. If I had to make a guess of the 3, I would say Scottsdale. And then a couple of pilots on Peacock. They put Miami on Peacock, and now it's streaming on Bravo. So, let's pay attention. Like, things have changed as far as programming because there's 2 networks now.
Right.
And 3 even because, to your point with E!
Well, and it's a shortcut of a way to keep it fresh, right? Because, look at the trouble they've been having in OC. Look at the fact that they had to stop New York for a while because they couldn't get it to work. Going to a whole new city, having a whole new cast like they are with Dubai, it gets people's attention. It's interesting. It's in a city. It's in a lifestyle that people are interested in. And despite the fact that we have to talk about the way to pronounce Winnetka, Chicago and Winnetka is a very close-in suburb. It is a very, very wealthy suburb of
People
Chicago.
would have laughed at Potomac. People would have laughed at Salt Lake City.
Yes.
And there they are being 2 of the most successful shows on Bravo.
Right.
So you can't tell me that something isn't going to happen.
Yes, totally. So, we'll just see what happens. But there's no doubt that there has been something being shot there. Let's just see what ends up happening and, what it ends up being branded on and what channel it ends up being on. And we'll talk about it probably no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it no matter what. That's one thing we're going to do. We're going to talk about it no matter what.
For sure. Okay, so
we're wrapping it up because I'm about to say stuff I'm not allowed to say, Amanda.
Uh-oh. Too much to drink?
I'm on my 2nd glass of wine and I'm going to start spilling the beans. So on that note,
you guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, we cannot tell you guys how much we appreciate hearing from all of you. Just do us a favor. Please do subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends. You can share the podcast literally just by hitting those 3 dots, especially those friends who are loving the tea that you share when you're out for drinks with them. Don't forget to find Bravo and Cocktails on Instagram at Bravo and Cocktails _ and don't miss the website because daily we put stuff there that would for sure get us kicked off of Instagram at bravoandcocktails.com. Thanks so much. Sure. It was so fun, Dee.
Thank you, Amanda. And thank you everybody for listening. And we hope you tune in next week.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Just want to ask you guys a favor, just getting kicked off. So many people have been asking us to do this podcast. So please do subscribe. And if you've subscribed, go to your podcast app and hit those 3 little dots to share with your friends, but only friends who like good tea, because the ones who don't care about tea, then forget them. And don't forget, find us on Instagram at Bravo and Cocktails _ and check out the website because some great tea gets put there daily that would get us kicked off of Instagram.
For sure.
Which is why we have the website.
It has gotten me kicked off Instagram multiple times.
Yes. And so now we're smarter and we just put it at Bravo and Cocktails.
When you know better, you do better.
So thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye, guys. See you next time.